shut your eyes. Stop your ears. Keep your head low and do not step out of line. Never speak out of turn. When your country needs your service, give it without reservation or delay. Give no thought to the danger, no thought to morality, no thought to sense and reason, but obey. Obey and pay no mind to the deeds that you see done by your own two hands at the unseen hour. Guns thunder tirelessly over the battlefields of northern France, shaking the earth by day and lighting up the night. In a narrow, flooded trench, Rufus Strideforth, captain, 4th class, has abandoned all but his most intimate articles of fine Harris tweed for a British Army uniform.
Blast this rain! Blast this mud! Blast this trench foot! What's that? Is someone there? I can hear you in the ammunition locker. Is that you, Lieutenant Falk?
Yep, that's me, hello! Right at the start this time. Once your average Brent-based wheeler-dealer who chose to leave his wife and child to enlist for military service of his own free will in order to avoid being put in prison for dodging a draft. A little about me there, in case you were wondering.
Yes, well, what ho and all that. Come out of there. You're not supposed to be in the munitions.
We're going to stock up. Orders coming down. There's going to be an advance. We are going over the top.
What? Already? But that can't be.
Oh, you'll come out of it all right, big hero like you, champion of the Battle of Astuteville.
Astuteville. I can still taste the blood. Still smell the death in the air. Our line was advancing. Suddenly it was as if my feet had been rooted to the earth. I couldn't take the next step. I stood paralyzed, watching as my comrades were cut down. I would have been next had I not dashed to the wire and crawled beneath the corpses. I lay there for 3 days with no water but the rain, no food except, to my shame, the entrails of the fallen. And all that time I kept hearing the voice of my sweetheart back home.
Rufus, I'm so proud that you're going away to war. You're not very clever and you're not very handsome. You're not charming or funny or rich. You're altogether too large and your diet contains a worrying amount of offal. But if you come home from the war, I'll marry you. There's a shortage of single men about.
I had to make it home to my darling Imogen.
And then you covered yourself with even more glory as a survivor of the awful onslaught at Pont-Marie.
Pont-Marie like a knife in my heart. We were a small outfit, close as brothers. Last-minute intelligence had alerted us to an enemy night march. We were to detonate the bridge right under their noses. Each of us had his unique task, each essential. I just needed something to steady my nerves. If anyone noticed my desertion, evidently they didn't live long enough to report it. With so many casualties, it was clear something had gone awry, but ultimately the day was won. No one asked too many questions.
And then, greatest of all, you are awarded the Order of Ouroboros for excessive excellence in opposition to overwhelming odds. Ooh-ee-oo. At the First Battle of Courgette.
The Order of Ouroboros for excessive excellence in opposition to overwhelming odds. Ooh-ee-oo. It weighs like an albatross about my neck. A cold morning. We were horribly outnumbered. Smoke and fog lay low, clinging to the grind. My nephew, the fool, had lied about his age to enlist. He had such a charming way. He talked him into transferring him to my unit. When that boy smiled, you couldn't deny him anything. The vapor parted. I found myself staring down the barrel of a German rifle. I took my nephew by the shoulders. I could lift him like a doll, and I did. His mother's letter to me still rings in my ears.
Dear Rufus, my heart is broken. My darling Henry was my only comfort in life. He was the sun to me, the air, my own heart. With him gone, nothing can ever be right again. I'm sure that I will not live long now. Probably won't make it till Thursday. But with the last of my strength, I wanted to let you know that Henry loved and admired you. I cannot thank you enough for being with him at the end.
So, you know, you'll probably be fine when the orders come down.
We have to get away! We must escape this horrible death!
Funny you should mention it. I have heard a little something on the grapevine. It just so happens that in a farmhouse not 5 miles from here, a mysterious Austro-Hungarian spy is being interviewed by a devilishly clever American spy. It's a long shot, but perhaps a hero such as you could lend a hand leading to an assignment to a less suicidal mission.
I'll take anything! Let's go! Where's the jeep?
It's mainly horses in this war, and our horse has been reallocated, but we can catch a lift on passing Monologue.
Ah, look, here comes one now!
We basically spent the whole 3 weeks on the ship drilling field medicine. When we were up against the mix, we had chopper medivacs to whisk a bloke off before he even knew he'd been hit, but obviously this was different. And so we trained. We were going in fast and aggressively. That was seen as paramount to break the enemy's will. So there was an understanding that if you took a hit, the advance wouldn't stop for you. If you were still conscious, you'd treat yourself, and if you weren't, well, someone else would do their best to keep you alive long enough for the whole silly thing to be done. Rich and I managed to bag a space of our own, a few cabins down from the CO. We were frightened. We talked quite openly about it together. We were frightened because we knew our job was to go in there and be frightening, to terrify the life out of those kids. They had the edge on us in numbers, logistics, support, heavy weaponry, and so the idea was to go in at night with bayonets, false grenades, the full works, and murder enough of them that the rest would shit themselves and give up. As fate would have it, that's pretty much what happened. You know, I can remember the exact moment I knew I wanted to be a soldier. I was 11, and our classics master had us read Plutarch's account of the Sacred Band. For those of you who don't know, the Sacred Band of Thebes was the most elite fighting force in the ancient world, possibly of all time. 150 pairs of hoplite lovers, linked side by side in an impenetrable shield wall, each man guarding the life force of his partner beside him. I want you to think about that for a moment. Imagine how you'd feel if someone hurled an insult at someone you're devoted to, with you there to witness it. How do you react? Do you come to their defense? Do you comfort them? Now in your mind, make that insult a stone. Someone hurls a stone at their head. What does that conjure in you? And finally make it a spear. Point razor sharp and gleaming in the sun. You can feel it, can't you? At the centre of your chest, the mindless anger that image generates. Focus on it. The spear arcing its way down upon your loved one. Allow that sense of outrage to rise and coalesce with that of the person sat next to you. Imagine their strength and anger conjoining with your own, and with that of the next person, and the next, and now the whole room. Now listen. And that's why the Sacred Band never lost a battle. The thing about having sex with another man on a British warship in the 1980s is that it's not exactly kosher. And one has to take a certain degree of precaution if one's to avoid disgrace. Rich and I became rather good at it. The deception, I mean, not the sex. Although we'd gotten pretty good at that over the years, too. One always had to be careful about showing one's hand in Belfast, of course, but being shipbound for 3 weeks with the entire regiment in one another's pockets took things to a whole new level. Timings were important. If there was a card game or some such in the evening, one of us would leave a decent way ahead of the other. The same went with breakfast and any other scheduled event. In front of the boys, we kept conversations strictly about the job and rugby and school and all the other inane, repressed things in the English repertoire. It became something of a game for us. Who could act the most ball-achingly dull? Pretty early on, I made up a girlfriend called Sylvia, who'd been to finishing school in Switzerland. To scrutiny one night, I got a bit carried away and loudly announced that she had, I think I said norks the size of bowling balls. Rich had to leave the room, he was laughing so hard. His little charade didn't necessitate quite that level of invention because he had a wife. An actual wife, with what I suppose were realistically proportioned breasts. Together they had a little boy. Yes, that was the only thing I ever did that made him angry. Referring to myself as the other woman. I thought it was quite funny, but he said I was being glib. It's not that I didn't care about his family, it's just that... No, he was right, I didn't care. On the day itself, we waited until dark and advanced in pretty short order. Rich's platoon on my left, 1st Platoon Charlie on the right. As soon as we crossed the trench, their artillery opened up on us. We were unlike Falcon moved on what we thought was the first machine gun position. Smith bagged the first kill of the night. Grenades went in next, 6 or 7 more went down, and the rest hightailed it back up the hill. It was chaos by this point. The intensity of fire was like nothing I'd ever experienced. Jennings went down. He was conscious, but died shortly afterwards. Meanwhile, we realised we were in a supply trench and that there was a good chance we'd pass the MG, seating at the flank. And it was then that it opened up on Rich's squad. Here's something I've noticed. Love is indivisible. When a source of love perishes, another always springs to take its place. Take my word for it. You will leave this world with just as much love as when you entered it. It's just a law, like gravity. And so over the years I've looked back and understood that just for that instant, it was my task to bring to bear all the love the universe had ever bestowed upon Rich, all it would bestow upon him. When he went down, I didn't even flinch. I left the trench, closed on the emplacement and opened up on it from 30 yards. I think I was hit at some point. There were screams. Rich was still writhing on the ground. I was terribly calm. I ran to him. I knew he was going to live. I ran to him, and when my hand met his, it really was just us on the battlefield. Just us in the entire world. And I was suddenly, intensely grateful to be together in that moment. And then, my name was Freddie Woodhead, First Lieutenant 2 Para, and I was killed in action on East Falkland Island on the 28th of May, 1982. You should never be scared, you know. It's all real. And it really is the most wonderful feeling.
It's no use, you deceitful interloper. You have shown your hand, Agent Kent, and now I am in control. You might as well give up. Your position is hopeless.
On the contrary, Agent Yagchek, I can read you like a book. You have fallen into my trap just as I knew you would.
Yeah, rubbish.
Who's there?
Captain Rufus Strideforth and Lieutenant Lawrence Sebastian Ford.
Ah, the British Army.
Come to end this farce.
You must be the American spy.
That's right. Agent Gabriel Yagchek of Polvo, New Mexico.
All right.
I'm nearly done with this disappointing European spy. He will spill his beans at any moment, and then you may take him to your comfortable prisoners of war camp.
Fat chance. I'll never talk. We Hungarians are an ancient and proud breed. We're made of sterner stuff than you soft Americans.
I see.
Don't be fooled. He is on the verge of cracking and telling us his whole story of life.
Hardly. This amateur seems incapable of understanding that her cruelest torture is a piece of Google-Hupf.
Google up?
Google-Hupf. It's a popular kind of cake, like a marbled bun cake, Gugelhupf.
Google Hop!
Yes, Gugelhupf! Cake! It's a piece of cake!
Let me try. Gulhup.
Lieutenant Fawkes, I see that these spies are idiots. Not only that, but they are clearly at an impasse. This could work to our advantage. It's at times like this that I always remember what my grandfather said to me before he died.
Son, if you smell something, say something.
No, the other one.
Son, sell me a dog and I'll sell you a frog.
Looking back, grandfather was senile. But he did once say something relevant to this situation.
Son, if you ever find yourself in a farmhouse in eastern France attempting to extract information from an Hungarian spy in a hurry, you must perform this exact song and dance routine. Hoiter, loiter, rum-pum-fiddle, never you mind, mother, fill me up with gin.
There was something very wrong with my grandfather. Still, in the absence of any other recourse, hoiter, loiter, loiter, rum-pum-fiddle, never you mind, mother, fill me up with gin.
Never have I seen anything so moving! Just in this exact situation, it has touched me to the core. You, sir, are an artist. Ask me the very secrets of my soul if you must. I will answer truthfully.
Just a little tactical information about the German positions would suffice. Anything to get us assigned to some busy work instead of going over for the big push.
My dear man, I can do you one better. I have vital information which could end the war.
End the war! You mean I could go home?
That's right. How much do you know about the reasons for the start of this war?
Nazis. No, that's not yet. Let's see, is it the Archduke Ferdinand?
More or less, but doesn't it seem strange to you that the German Kaiser, previously such a rational, circumspect man, would throw caution to the wind and sacrifice so many of his people for a land grab?
Dunno, really.
Actually, Wikipedia describes him as erratic.
Lies! Until recently, he was a measured, wise man. However, in 1911, he was the victim of the dark arts of a certain mad Russian monk. Kaiser Wilhelm has been possessed by a demon ever since.
No.
It is quite true, and all that is needed to exorcise this demon and end the war is the fiend's name, and that is written in a book in an undefended church just over the rise in Nomansland.
I'm sorry, but this all sounds like an absolute pile of...
Google Hop. It is fun, isn't it? Yeah.
Should be easy enough to verify.
A single covert mission to end the war. No one else has to die. More importantly, I don't have to die. You, Spy Chappie, come with me. We'll tell your story to the general.
One moment.
Ah! No! Why? Why did you do that?
Yeah, we had his information. I don't like to leave traces.
You are a bad spy.
In truth, I am not a good spy. But the general trusts me and I can corroborate the story. Hey, look, the Hungarian had mints. You want one?
No, don't eat the dead spy's mints.
Cyanide! I am not a good spy.
Well, let's give it a punt anyway. Shall we, folks?
Righty-ho!
Oh no! How are we going to get back? We've done this episode's monologue.
Not to worry. Hop aboard this song by nutritious trad bassman Thom Ashworth.
Ha! Off we go!
I was a hand weaver skilled in my trade, till revolution took my hand and a stocking frame, a mill to grind away an honest trade. No loom could weave a crust of bread to eat, so I cast in the shoes from off my feet. Can't push the genie back inside. Wish us all back to the future. Can't resurrect what's up and died. Now everybody's gone to the rapture. The press gang put me in the white and blue. I left my family and debts accrued, and a soldier of the crown I served. Ship sailed me half the way across the earth. Spilled blood for country and a distant king, bringing empire with a sabre swing. Can't saddle up your charger bold, your high horse into posture. There's no time left for days of old. Now everybody's gone to the rapture. Worked in the darkness, low down in the seam. Pick and drill to feed this English dream. Time dragged the costs up till the bill's unpaid. I can't climb out the pit my father made. With coal and sweat and tar and dust to dust, tools set down for good and left to rust. Oh, tell me where the workers gone. No more to manufacture. Can't fuel the fires we tended home. Now everybody's gone to the rapture.
And that, General Grick, is either Russian,
Russian?
German,
No.
pardon me, General Grick. That's either the German Kaiser, King of Prussia, was brainwashed by a Russian wizard, and I, with a single non-faithful mission, for which my lieutenant and I volunteer, the entire war can be brought to a swift conclusion and a favourable one.
Captain Strideforth, these lunatic ravings should by rights land you both. You and your lieutenant. You've made me do it now. In a field hospital and then an asylum.
Not the worst outcome.
But, my general, we're in dire need of every man on the front line for the you-know-what.
True, Featherstone. And furthermore, given the captain's record of service, his heroism, and the fact of his recognition with the Order of Ouroboros for excessive excellence in opposition to overwhelming odds, I am inclined to think that there may be some truth to his story.
Really? I mean, yes.
In fact, this information tallies with certain letters I have received from our allies on the Eastern Front.
Excellent. We're saved. When do we set out? Immediately?
Certainly, you will explore this church as soon as possible.
Hooray!
Just as soon as we have concluded our current advance.
Bad luck, Strideforth. Looks like you're still going over the top.
No! You can't make me! Don't you see that there's a chance to end this war? This is madness!
My general, it looks as though Strideforth is suffering the attack of cowardice. Would you like me to take him out and have him shot?
I suppose, if you must.
No. Oh, that was just rhetoric, exaggeration. For effect, I'm quite happy to not be shot in the face immediately.
Well, then, off you go, you two. Prepare yourselves. The orders will be sent down within the next few hours.
you say we needed every man?
Oh, yes, you go too, Featherstone.
Me?
You are almost indispensable to me, Featherstone. You are quite literally the darling to my Melchett. But you are truly indispensable to the war effort. Goodbye.
Here we are, then. I suppose this is it.
Listen, the guns have stopped.
Do you suppose there really was a magic book with the name of a demon written in it?
Probably not.
I'd like to think so. The prospect of a rash and sorcerer commanding an evil spirit would at least support the idea of a world beyond this one.
Well, we should find out about that soon enough. A whistle could go any moment now. What's this?
A dispatch. Thanks, soldier.
Cheerio.
Oh, no. I've been called back to HQ. Apparently no one else on his staff knows how to bake the particular kind of Hungarian cake he likes.
Google up.
Kitterskolatz.
Oh,
It's kind of tall spit cake.
What?
So long, chaps. Best of luck.
Why, that snot-nosed little piece of...
some fellows have all the luck. Huh? Well, back to waiting for the whistle. Any moment now. Oh, look, another dispatch. For me. Thank you, soldier. Let's see.
What? What did it say?
Oh, look. Looks like the generals had a change of heart. Wants someone who personally met the spy to head over to the church immediately. I've been reassigned.
You mean we're being reassigned?
Nope, he's very specific. Every man is needed here. Especially an hero like Captain Strideforth mentions you by name. That's nice, isn't it? A sign of respect. I best be on my way.
Wait, no, you can't leave me.
Orders is orders. Nice knowing you, Captain. Bon voyage.
You coward! Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, bloody... Well, it's not too late. No, not until the whistle goes. There's a pattern. Yeah, there's first one for Featherstone, one for Fawkes, and next one for good old Strideforth. Yeah, the rule of three. Yeah, it's nothing to worry about. Just a classic Deus Ex Machina. They get a bad rap. Really, those Deus Ex Machina, but really something to be said for being saved by the proverbial bell, you know, and having the proverbial cavalry ride in. Any moment now. I see. Well then. Well, I suppose, goodbye.
So Strideforth walks out to cross that frontier that is at once more daunting than any national boundary and infinitely easier to cross. He joins the legion of those who have found peace at the end of a war, with a weapon in their hands and colors on their chests. And he joins the measureless horde in which each one of you, too, dear listeners, will one day number. Finally, when we each face our day of reckoning, our moment of truth, our unseen hour. We hope you've enjoyed The Unseen Hour, Episode 6, Into Nomansland. It was recorded live at the Rosemary Branch Theatre in London by Andy Goddard. It was performed by Brice, Stratford, Joey Timmins, and James Carney, and featured a monologue written by Chris Webster and performed by Oliver Gully. The musical guest was Thom Ashworth. Theme music by The Unrecorded. The Unseen Hour is created, written, and produced by James Carney, with the podcast produced by Andy Goddard. It was brought to the Rosemary Branch Theatre by Scarlett Pluvier-Comnes, Genevieve Tarico, at Anya Kulesa of unattended items. We all look forward to seeing you again here at the Unseen Hour.
Guests, do you want to come take a bow? Come on. See you in the bar.